It is, I mean, when you compare the situation a few weeks ago in Iran to what was happening in places like initially Egypt and Tunisia, you don't see actually a great deal of difference. You see basically what we saw in Iran, very much like what we saw in places like Bahrain and Egypt and Syria and Tunisia, where a lot of young people who were incredibly disillusioned about the sense of political progress and economic progress in their countries. They feel that, they are facing a political and economic cul-de-sac, and they believe that they have no choice but to protest in order to pave the way for a meaningful transition. The Middle East as a region is a very young region. This is probably one of the youngest regions in the world, despite the fact that the region has access to this incredible human capital and human asset. The rate of economic development, which could create kind of even opportunities for so many different segments of the society, in particular youth, has been very kind of ineffective. Very much like Egypt and Tunisia and Syria and Bahrain, a lot of people in Iran are fed up with lack of economic opportunities, with lack of political participation. So if you were looking at kind of their slogans, there wasn't a great deal of difference. What they wanted was change. What they did not want, the continuation of the same stories and the same policies and the same patterns. And of course, there were so many other similarities despite the limitations, very much like kind of the youth in Egypt and Bahrain and so many other countries which were recently involved in public protests. The youth tried to use kind of Twitter, tried to use social media, tried to use kind of the cyberspace in order to kind of organize themselves and in order to kind of broadcast their messages to the outside world. And very much like the rest of the region, very quickly their fates were sealed by the politics of the iron fist and by violent mechanisms of social control.